It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it, largely in the service of others. Do you often feel drained, used, or unappreciated even though you were doing everything right? You give, you help, and you say yes, hoping to build connection, yet you are left feeling empty and resentful. In a world that demands we always be nice, many of us have confused kindness with weakness. You pour yourself out for others until there is nothing left for you. This isn't just exhausting, it is dangerous. It erodes your character and leaves you vulnerable to the worst aspects of human nature. In this video, we will explore the 8 specific ways that unchecked kindness is quietly ruining your life based on the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. You will learn not to become cold or heartless, but to become strong, respected, and truly virtuous. We are going to dismantle the habits that make you a target and replace them with the strength of a philosopher. Watch until the very end to discover the Stoic shield, the one mindset shift that protects your peace permanently. If you are ready to reclaim your time and energy, click subscribe to join Timeless Wisdom Official. Let us walk this path of strength together.
Section 1. The Transaction Trap. The first way kindness ruins your life is through what modern psychologists call the covert contract, or as the Stoics would see it, the error of expectation. In American culture, there is an unwritten rule we are raised with. Treat others how you want to be treated. While this is noble in theory, in practice, you often twist it into a transaction. You think, if I listen to their problems for 3 hours, they will listen to mine. Or, if I cover their shift at work, they will have my back when I need help. You view your kindness as a deposit in a bank, expecting that you can make a withdrawal later. But when that payday never comes, when the friend doesn't call back or the coworker takes credit for your work, you feel betrayed. You feel bitter. You think the world is unfair. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, saw this trap clearly. He wrote, "You have done a good deed? What more do you want? Is it not enough that you have done something consistent with your own nature? Must you also claim a reward? When you attach strings to your kindness, you are no longer being kind. You are doing business. You are trading. And when the market doesn't pay out, you suffer. This ruins your life because it places the keys to your happiness in someone else's pocket. You spend your days waiting for a thank you or a returned favor that may never arrive. The Stoic solution is radical independence. If you choose to help, do it because it aligns with your character, not because you want a specific result. If you cannot do a favor without silently demanding a return, then do not do it. True power comes when you stop viewing relationships as transactions and start viewing your actions as an expression of your own integrity. By letting go of the expectation of reciprocity, you become untouchable. No one can owe you anything because you gave freely. Section 2. The erosion of self-respect. The second danger is availability. In our modern, hyper-connected world, we are conditioned to be instantly responsive. Your phone buzzes and you jump. Someone asks for a minute of your time, and you give them 20. You believe that being always on and always there makes you a good person, a reliable friend, or a dedicated employee. But the harsh reality of human psychology is that scarcity creates value. If gold were as common as gravel, it would be worthless. The same applies to you. When you are available to everyone at any time, you subconsciously teach them that your time has no value. You become the backup plan, the person who can always be squeezed in, the doormat. Seneca wrote a profound essay called On the Shortness of Life, where he scolds those who easily give away their time. He asks, "You would not give away your property or your money to just anyone who asks, so why do you hand over your life?" By being overly kind with your time, you are actually disrespecting yourself. You are saying that your goals, your rest, and your peace are less important than someone else's boredom or minor crisis. People will treat you exactly how you treat yourself. If you treat your time as cheap, they will waste it. This destroys your life because you end up living for everyone else's agenda but your own. You wake up 5 years from now realizing you helped everyone else build their dreams while yours gathered dust. The Stoic approach requires you to implement the Stoic pause. When someone demands your time, do not answer immediately. Create a gap. Protect your time as if it were a fortress. When you do say yes, it will mean more because people will know it is a gift, not an automatic reflex. You must become comfortable with the idea that you are not required to be accessible. Your unavailability is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of self-respect. Section 3. Enabling Vice. The third trap is perhaps the most deceptive because it looks so much like love. It is the trap of enabling. We often think kindness means shielding people from pain. You lend money to a friend who is bad with finances. You finish a project for a lazy colleague so the team doesn't look bad. You lie to cover up a partner's mistake. You tell yourself you are helping. But Stoicism teaches us that justice is a cardinal virtue. Justice isn't just about laws, it's about cause and effect. It is the natural order of the universe where actions have consequences. When you constantly intervene to save people from the consequences of their own bad decisions, you are not being kind, you are interfering with their growth. You are robbing them of the lesson they need to learn. Epictetus taught that we must distinguish between what is ours to control and what is not. Another person's character and their choices are not yours to control or fix. By cushioning their fall, you are essentially serving as an accomplice to their vices. You allow the gambler to keep gambling, the lazy to stay lazy, and the irresponsible to remain a child. This ruins your life because you inherit their chaos. Their emergencies become your emergencies. You drain your bank account and your emotional reserves trying to fill a bucket that has a hole in the bottom. And the tragedy is they eventually resent you for it. When you finally say no, they will blame you for their downfall, because you train them to rely on you. To be truly stoic is to love someone enough to let them fail. It is standing on the sidelines, offering support and wisdom, but refusing to play the game for them. It is painful to watch someone you care about struggle, but it is necessary. The most compassionate thing you can do is step back and let reality do its work. You must respect them enough to believe they can handle their own life, and respect yourself enough to not be dragged down by their refusal to grow. Section 4. The exhaustion of the soul. The fourth way kindness ruins your life is through a phenomenon known as compassion fatigue. In our modern society, you are constantly bombarded with the suffering of the world. You open your phone and see wars, political division, friends going through divorces, and strangers arguing in comment sections. Because you are a kind, empathetic person, you try to care about all of it. You try to hold space for everyone. But here is the brutal truth. You were not designed to carry the weight of the world. When you try to make everyone else's emotions your own, you do not heal them. You only deplete yourself. You become an emotional sponge, absorbing anxiety and sorrow until you are so heavy you can barely move. This is the exhaustion of the soul. Epictetus, the former slave turned philosopher, gave us the most fundamental rule of Stoicism, the dichotomy of control. He taught that there are things up to us and things not up to us. Other people's feelings, global events, and the inevitable tragedies of life are mostly outside your control. When you tie your inner peace to the emotional state of others, you are setting yourself up for a life of chaos. You might think that feeling someone else's pain makes you a good person. But if you drown alongside the person you are trying to save, you help no one. The Stoics spoke of the inner citadel, a fortress inside your mind that must remain unbreached. You can offer help, you can offer resources, and you can offer a listening ear. But you must not surrender the keys to your emotional well-being. To survive, you must visualize a glass wall between you and the world. Through the glass, you can see the suffering, you can understand it, and you can offer a hand. But the glass prevents the water of their chaos from flooding your home. This is not coldness. It is sustainable compassion. By guarding your energy, you ensure you are strong enough to be useful when it truly matters. Section 5. The loss of authenticity. The fifth trap is the loss of your own identity, often called the chameleon effect. In your desire to be kind and likable, you instinctively agree with everyone. When someone states an opinion you dislike, you nod and smile to avoid conflict. When a group wants to do something you hate, you go along to be a team player. Slowly, over years of this behavior, a terrifying thing happens. You forget who you actually are. You become a mirror, simply reflecting whoever is standing in front of you. You shape-shift to fit every room, every relationship, and every demand. You think this makes you nice, but in reality, it makes you invisible. Seneca warned about this lack of definition. He argued that a person who is everywhere is nowhere. A person who tries to be everything to everyone becomes nothing to themselves. This ruins your life because it kills genuine connection. People cannot truly love or respect you if they don't know the real you. If you never disagree, your agreement has no value. Think about the people you respect most in life. Are they the ones who constantly fawn and agree? Or are they the ones who have firm principles, who know what they stand for, and who are willing to say, "I see it differently"? Stoicism demands courage. It demands the courage to be disliked if it means being true to the truth. You must practice polite disagreement. It is entirely possible to be kind and respectful while firmly holding your ground. You must realize that conflict is not a failure of kindness. It is often a necessary collision of truths. Stop smoothing over every rough edge. Be a mountain, not a leaf in the wind. When you stop trying to please everyone, you will find that the right people will finally respect you, not for your compliance, but for your character. Section 6. The magnet for predators. The sixth danger is the most perilous of all. Unchecked kindness acts as a beacon for predators. In psychology, there is a dark triad of personality types: narcissists, Machiavellians, and psychopath. These people do not view kindness as a gift. They view it as a weakness to be exploited. When you have no boundaries, when you always forgive, always give the benefit of the doubt, and always take the blame, you shine a bright light that says, "I am an easy target." You attract partners who drain your finances, friends who only call when they need something, and bosses who pile their workload onto your desk. And then you wonder, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I always attract toxic people? It happens because your defenses are down. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that the world is full of different natures, including those who are shameless and deceitful. He wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." This wasn't pessimism, it was preparation. To assume that everyone has the same good heart as you is not innocence. Aurelius would call it madness. It is willful ignorance of reality. You must stop projecting your own conscience onto people who do not have one. The Stoic does not walk through the world blindly trusting. The Stoic observes, "You must judge people by their actions, not their potential. When someone shows you they are selfish, believe them the first time. You ruin your life by keeping the door open for people who are tearing down your house. You think you can fix them with enough love. You cannot. The kindest thing you can do for yourself is to lock the door. Boundaries are not walls that shut people out. They are filters that let the good in and keep the poison out. If someone reacts with rage or guilt-tripping when you finally set a boundary, that is your confirmation that the boundary was necessary." Section 7. The anxiety of hidden resentment. The seventh way kindness ruins your life is through the slow poison of hidden resentment. This happens when you silence your true feelings to keep the peace. You say yes when your entire body is screaming no. You smile when you are insulted. You swallow your anger because you believe anger is bad or unetiquette. But physics teaches us that energy cannot be destroyed, only transferred. When you suppress your frustration, it doesn't vanish. It sinks deep into your subconscious. It festers. Over time, it transforms into anxiety, passive-aggressive behavior, or even physical illness. You become a pressure cooker waiting to explode. And when you finally do snap, it's often over something small, a spilled coffee or a forgotten text, making you look irrational to everyone else. The Stoics had a complicated relationship with anger. While they viewed uncontrolled rage as a vice, they viewed honesty as a duty. There is a profound difference between acting out in rage and speaking the truth with firmness. Marcus Aurelius taught that to be false is a violation of nature. He prized straightforwardness. If you are hurt or inconvenienced and you hide it to appear nice, you are lying. You are presenting a false version of reality to the other person. This ruins your life because it creates a wall of secret bitterness between you and the people you love. They think everything is fine, while you are silently keeping score of their offenses. This is unfair to them and torture for you. The solution is the 5-second rule of honesty. When you feel that intuitive no in your gut, you have 5 seconds to say it before your fear talks you out of it. You must learn that no is a complete sentence. You do not need to apologize for it or explain it away. Expressing your limits clearly prevents resentment from ever taking root. It clears the air. A relationship built on honest boundaries is stronger than one built on fake pleasantries. Section 8. Neglecting your primary duty. The final, and perhaps most critical way kindness ruins your life, is that it causes you to neglect your primary duty, the care of your own self. We are often taught that self-care is selfish. We are praised for being martyrs. The parent who never sleeps, the worker who never takes a vacation. You run around putting out fires in everyone else's life while your own house burns down. You neglect your health, your finances, your sleep, and your own mental growth. But think about this logically. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you collapse from exhaustion, who will you help then? By neglecting yourself, you eventually become a burden to the very people you tried to serve. The Stoics were very clear on this hierarchy of duties. Your first responsibility is to your own ruling center, your mind and your character. You are the only person you are stuck with from birth until death. If you do not steward your own life well, you have failed your primary assignment. Seneca said, "Make yourself happy through your own efforts. This you can do." He understood that a strong, self-sufficient individual is an asset to the community, while a weak, depleted individual is a liability. This ruins your life because it leads to a total collapse of your foundation. You wake up one day sick, broke, or burnt out, realizing you gave all your fuel to other people's vehicles. You must start scheduling self-maintenance with the same rigidity that you schedule a work meeting or a doctor's appointment. It is non-negotiable. Whether it is time for exercise, reading, meditation, or simply silence, protect it. When you prioritize yourself, you are not being selfish. You are being strategic. You are sharpening the saw so that you can cut more wood. A healthy, rested, focused version of you is the greatest gift you can give to the world. Kindness is beautiful, but only when it is rooted in strength, not fear. We have explored the 8 traps: the transaction of expectations, the loss of self-respect, the enabling of vice, the exhaustion of the soul, the loss of authenticity, the attraction of predators, the poison of resentment, and the neglect of self. If you recognize yourself in these descriptions, do not despair. Recognize it as a wake-up call. You now understand that saying no to others is often saying yes to your own virtue. You realize that you are not required to set yourself on fire just to keep others warm. True Stoic kindness is a choice, not a compulsion. It is given freely by a person who owns themselves, not extracted from a person who fears rejection. It is a kindness that has a backbone. From this day forward, walk with your head high. Be kind, yes, but be kind to yourself first. Let your generosity be a deliberate act of a powerful sovereign, not the automatic surrender of a servant. Thank you for spending your valuable time with Timeless Wisdom Official today. If this message resonated with you, please subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps us continue to spread these ancient truths to those who need them most. Like this video to help the algorithm share this wisdom. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of these 8 traps have you fallen into? Is it the inability to say no? Or perhaps the exhaustion of trying to save everyone? Share your story below. We read every comment, and your experience might just help someone else feel less alone. Stay wise, stay strong, and protect your peace.